and I have Lisa here with me again. Day 2 of College Park. We are running on fumes at this point because it has been a very busy, we did not leave the booth yesterday. And it was a very good thing because it meant that we had everybody coming to the booth to come talk to us and say hello and everything like that. So those of you who have come by the College Park booth, thank you again. And this was a true joy getting to meet so many of you in person. So we're going to give you guys a minute. That's it, to jump on board. And I'm going to go ahead and get things started on Instagram. Y'all need to pull up a chair. Get comfortable, pull up a chair. All right.
Those booths are open over there.
Yeah. All right. We got some people coming around the booth. Hey, Timothy. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. I am broadcasting, guys, to YouTube, to Instagram, and to Facebook because I'm getting all fancy nowadays. So you guys can find me there. And those of you who received the text message alert, you can find me a lot easier. So today, I'm going to give you guys a little background on today's talk because this girl just totally rocked the house and teaching me about prosthetic needs. So today we are going to be talking about College Park's very first microprocessor knee. Go College Park. It's called the Icon. As you can see, this beautiful poster behind us. I gotta show you something. I just love showing. It's not included with the knee, but this guy's got a bottle opener on his pocket, which I think is just kind of really cool. Got soda in hand, Timothy. Good to go. All right, guys. As you jump on board, you know the routine. I want to know who you are, where you're from, and what are you drinking. So start putting that stuff in the comment section so I can give you a shout out. So Elisa, for the folks who were not here yesterday, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Great. Hi. So my name's Elisa. I'm a prosthetist and I do clinical education with College Park. So I get to talk to them about lots of products. And I just started recently with College Park in January, but since I've started, it has been Icon microprocessor knee, everything for me. So this is kind of what I enjoy talking about a lot. I went to the University of Michigan and then I went to Northwestern where I got my master's in prosthetics and orthotics. I've worked in the clinical world for the past 5-6 years. And then I just joined College Park. So now I get to be here talking to all these people.
Let me tell you, she is a wealth of information. I was picking her brain for a full hour and just writing the entire time. So just College Park's newest asset on point. We got Eric drinking his Coke and we got Timothy coming in from Minnesota. So, with the world of prosthetic needs, I still have trouble wrapping my head around how to classify, how to think about them. And much like prosthetic feet, it can get a little bit muddy because you have all these great names like the Icon, the Aura, the Capital, the Victor knee. But learning what the knee does, the function of the knee, that's going to help you determine if it's the right componentry for you. So yesterday's show, we talked about the characteristics associated with prosthetic feet. Today, we're going to focus on the Icon because there's a lot to talk about just with this, right? So I know it's a microprocessor, single axis hydraulic. And usually when I'm talking to patients and the first thing that comes up is the whole microprocessor knee, right? Scoopy scoopy technology sounds like awesome. And what I tell people is the microprocessor, all that means is there's a computer. It's what's underneath the computer and making that knee go. That's what we want to talk a little bit more about. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means for a knee to be single access and what it means for single access.
Okay. Yeah. So single access, basically that's how many axes of rotation there is. So there's one point that the knee will rotate on, and that is a singular one, and that is one. So there are multiple types of single axis knees. And really what is a little bit different about a microprocessor in terms of the controlling of movement. So this one has a hydraulic that's going to control movement, but it's still on a single axis knee joint. There are single axis knee joints that are controlled with friction. There's single axis knee joints controlled with pneumatics. There's multiple types, but we have a hydraulic based one with the microprocessor.
Yes. And I always you guys know I like to repeat things because repetition is the mother of memory. So when she mentions that kind of makes it work in my head. How does the knee move? Okay. And what is controlling the friction of the knee? So when we talk about the movement, she said single axis, flexion and extension of the knee. Those are the two biggest movements your knee will do, right? And it's considered a injury. The knee is considered an injury. So it goes into extension when your knee goes straight and flexion, right? So that's the movement. The friction control is how fast your leg will swing out, right? And some of you will notice that if you have some certain mechanical knees, it swings freely. And others, like the Icon, you have that hydraulic component. So the knee doesn't just go swinging out with momentum. It's a controlled movement swing. So when we're talking about single axis hydraulic, right? And then when you put the computer microprocessor unit, it's basically taking the sensors from the information from the environment and helping control everything that's going on. So I hope you can tie that in a nice neat bow right there. Because I know it can sometimes get a little muddy trying to understand things. So who is a good candidate for a single axis hydraulic and then a microprocessor?
Okay, so with the microprocessor or,
Well, let's take it back to the single axis hydraulic.
okay, so hydraulic needs, fluid control needs of that type of sort are indicated for persons that are capable or demonstrate the motivation and need to walk at different variations of speeds. So a hydraulic unit itself is able to accommodate slow to fast walking because of the nature of the fluid and the resistance that it naturally has. So that would be a great indication for someone with a hydraulic. Another one is going to be someone that is walking out in the community. So uneven terrains is a big thing for this type of knee, microprocessor knee. I mean, if we're talking about microprocessor needs with hydraulic units, someone that would benefit from good gait symmetry, decreased energy expenditure, stumble recovery features. So if there's any history of trips and falls, the list goes on. Really, it's indicated for a lot of people. So yeah, if you're mentally capable is a big one. So if you're able to charge your phone, if you're that person that hates charging their phone and their phone's constantly dead, this would be just a heavy weight for you. Really, it wouldn't be functioning. So medical necessity, proving that you have the need for it, and then also mentally capable of using it.
Okay. And then guys, I'm going to take it back a little bit to what she said about varied walking speed. You'll hear also the terminology varied cadence, right? And these are key words that insurance companies are going to look for to see if you classify as a K2 or a K3 walker. Let's talk a little bit about the classifications, the gait classifications, and prosthetic technology, and my love-hate relationship with them, right? But when it comes to it, the K2 ambulator is someone who is just walking at a very steady pace the entire day versus the K3 ambulator that they're walking slow, throughout their day. And that's something that's indicated. So we would classify this as a
So technically it's K2 to K4. There is a lot of change in literature that has happened recently. So the LCD, the local coverage determination policy has actually just got approved to make microprocessors okay for K2 patients. With something as a prosthetist, like those are the patients that like they need a lot of the features in this. So that is exciting for us. It's something that should be. And it's so September 1st is going to start happening actually. So we are indicated for K2 to K4 patients. Some microprocessors are not. So it just depends on the type of need. But in general, it's a little bit more work for the patient and for the prosthetist to determine the medical necessity for a K2 patient. But they still can benefit. It's just maybe not so much from the variation walking speeds. They benefit from maybe smaller stumble recovery, inherent stance. There's some certain features about a microprocessor that would be better for K2 and K3.
Okay. So tell us about the stumble stance recovery features. That's something that we hear that catchphrase a lot in the industry. So what does that mean?
Yeah. So basically, the knee can identify through its sensors when you are most vulnerable to trips and falls. So specifically in our knee, it understands when you are about to lift your leg and go through the swing, and it defaults to a very inherently safe resistance. So if you were to catch your toe at any point, the knee would be at what's called a stance flexion resistance. Basically, it makes buckling very difficult. So you have a little bit of support if you were to catch your toe in order to stabilize yourself. So stumble recovery basically reduces the likelihood of a toe.
Okay, sounds good. I got to give a quick shout out to my Canadian viewer there, Tom, right there listening in. Thanks for listening in. Let's see. Let's have some of these questions coming in. Josh, I would love to say hello to you, so please don't keep trying to stop by. So here's a quick question. Lori asked, how does it compare to the Oster Power Knee?
Yeah, so
Very different knees.
Yeah, they are different knees. So I mean, a power knee does have that sensor micro processor technology like MPK does, but the power knee was created to replace some muscle function. So this one would be about the resistance that goes through a swing. You can decrease or increase that resistance when you're going through, where the power knee actually kicks on almost like a Mustang does and pushes your forward to replace some of that resistance.
And then one of my favorite features when it comes to College Park is the
Oh, yeah.
program.
That's a big deal for, I mean, us, but also for being such a patient forward company. Yes, because we want you to try things. So if you're interested in this knee, basically talk to your prosthetist about it. Say, I think that might be a good candidate. What do you think? And if they agree with you, great, and you can try the knee out. So we have a valuation unit, 30 days. You can take it. That's the big thing. We don't have to stay in the office with it.
Guys, that's huge because I know that I have been in my head against the wall for years trying to get companies to allow patients to take. Okay, with the beef, we're starting to see people with more fun trial programs with the bees. It's understandable. It's a very expensive piece of equipment. But to hear that College Park is going to allow you to take it home, not just walking up and down the bars a few times and the rust is splitting, that's huge, guys. It's huge. And yes, I will acknowledge it is more work for prostitutes to have to do and arrange these trials. But those of you who have those dedicated prostitutes, you know that they would make it happen for you. This is again the need, but that you will wake up to every morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. To your PT. That's I love it. Yeah.
Take it to us. We'll let you know what's gonna happen. Hey Dave, glad you could join in. Oh gosh. All right, guys. So that's the short and sweet right there. And guys, we're gonna keep talking about needs. So we've got a couple of other needs here too. We've got
Yeah, the aura's not with
It's
us,
not with
but
us
it
right
is
now,
our
but
like
it's-
newest thing. We just launched it like a week ago.
so we'll be talking about that in the picture.
Yeah,
right?
that's a polycentric knee. So we covered single axis. This is a whole nother little
Yes.
list of the knee, but it's got multiple rotation versus one street. And then we've got the Guardian beam here. So that is our weight activated stance control. That's going to be more of like a K1, K2 knee. So if you need a little bit more control from your knee, that's a great starting knee. Guardian, before I was in college, that was knees out there. And then the Capital and the Victor. So those are fluid control. Victor's pneumatic and the Capital's hydraulic. So honestly, we took a lot of the moving from the Capital that like unit and applied it to this because Capital is such a
Right, and you die hard because fans, you know that we did actually show the Zach down and Adam Lululemon on the Capitals who have about a year and a half ago. So you guys are curious about that. It's there. So needless to say, the growth that College Park is doing with week and knees, you're gonna find something you're thinking about. That Lori says, I'm a veteran, so it's a little different getting to try. I'm looking for something that will aid me better in horseback riding. Yes, it's just very racing, so she likes it.
So custom modes are going to be your friend in horseback riding, in my opinion. And that's one cool thing about this one is that you have up to 10 custom modes, and your prosthetist can give you the ability to adjust them. So that was big for me because if you don't have that, we do our best in the office as prosthetists. You know, we're like, okay, get in that position. We'll make the angle right. We'll do everything. But then you get out to your horse and you're like, all right, none of what I just did in the office applies to that custom mode. So if you have that access to tweak it, it makes a big difference.
I have no idea that she's about horseback riding, you know, because this lovely young lady is emailing and I'm like, I don't know enough about horseback riding to know how to. So
I had
Yeah, I mean,
motorcycles. So it's kind of, the same kind of thought process, in my opinion. That's good.
All right, Lori, start sending me your horseback riding question. All right, guys, I do want to say a huge thank you to College Park for bringing me out here to this conference. Huge thank you to Elisa. You've been wonderful wealth of knowledge and enjoying getting to know you and festival things. Guys, again, thank you for those of you who have stopped by and have supported me virtually. I am here until 3:45. So if you're still at the conference, Josh, I'm talking to you. Come by and see me. I will apply at 3:45. The doorknob's going to be hitting me on the bottom so I can get to my airport flight on time. But in the meantime, I would love to kind of keep saying hello to everybody who's here. All right, guys, next week it'll be general Q&A. So open season on the PT and you know where to find me. Same bad time.